The reason I personally want to win this time is because I haven't won something in a while. Even in OPL, I came second. And then the highest I've gotten on FOXA Academy was second the first split I came in. And that was like a 5-game series with a 40-something minute 5th game. So I feel like when you've hit something before and you can't hit it again, it feels like you're almost retracting, or like your progress is, if anything, not even negligible, but negative throughout your time. And that feels really bad. So since we came 3rd or 4th as of recency for last split, I think it would be disappointing, to say the least, to not come 3rd or 4th or better.
Strong mental coming into the game, knowing what they need to do, but also kind of stepping out of his shoes to look at what the scenario looks like in win or loss. And it definitely appears like loss does not want to be something that they find.
Yeah, and he had a great game in that last one. He didn't die. He picked up the kills from the tower dive and then turned into a beast mode carry in the late game. But that's not enough for the team because they needed Yasui to also pop off.
Yeah,
something that we usually don't see from him in playoffs. But I think that off his game now, I think we can say that this is just another summer playoff, regular season match where he is going to completely pop off. And look at that. Gold difference. Not a lot of action happened in the mid lane before 15. So a significant lead out of him.
100 Thieves are selecting blue side as we get here into Game 3. Almost Champion Select about to start. Thank you so much for joining us here for Game 3 as Echo Fox Academy and 100 Thieves Academy look to play for that playoff spot. A few of them left open. Cloud9 getting to choose who they want to dance with. And then the other team is going to be playing against Golden Guardians. So definitely some tough teams to proceed on to after this matchup.
But it always feels so good when you get your pick of the litter.
It does.
Blue side will get to do that, and I think that the Thieves would probably go and prioritize the jungle matchup again because it's very clear to me that Panda performs best on a champion that it doesn't matter if he's 0-7 as long as you have a way to engage reliably. And Jarvan and Sejuani do that for you. So the Sejuani will be left up and telling Thieves, do you want this? We'll take it if you don't, but I think Thieves definitely know Panda and Fox Academy's game plan. They lock it in. Silas is an answer. You also have Gragas, which used to be a better engager for your team. He's now sort of relegated to be either a support or a bursty mid-tier jungler because as you build AP, you don't really do a whole lot when it comes to engage. You kind of just die right away.
That's not what you want to do.
Ooh. But it is what's going to be taken. So yeah, they are taking a listen there, trying to make sure that they are playing something that Panda is going to be comfortable on. You can build him a little bit of a hybrid anyways. You can go the Runic Echoes and Flash in, Frozen Heart, Spirit Visage, and all these things.
True.
You don't maximize damage.
Kind of with like Gragas, you either go lightweight or heavyweight.
Yeah.
Right?
Although
you drink them under the table, or are you going to go under the table?
There's no way Gragas looks at me and says, I'm a lightweight. Like, there's no way. That is heavy in every sense of the word. Even the hairs on his face look heavy.
That is a beard. That is a beard and a half. I remember at one point you used to say that your beard would stab you. It was so strong. My beard has never done that.
You never done that?
You have
put
a
it in your
violent
hand
beard.
and then one of the bristles just pierces your
See,
skin.
if you have to say bristles for beard, you're already getting too dense. 100 Thieves going for the Sivir. Keeping it almost color-coded, except for Sejuani and all the Arctic Splash. But they have a great fight team so far. I mean, you put Braum in that bot side, you have a giant death ball to fight with, whether that be that or the Nautilus. You still have Morgana locked up there, or not on the ban list, I should say. That went with the Sivir last time for 100 Thieves. There's your Braum. Braum Ezreal. I can't word today. Crumbs, help me. Braum Ezreal did seem to be pretty good for Echo Fox.
And it was a lot better than the TK. So they really started to figure out that Braum in lane is a pretty powerful pick against Sivir. Not only can you block her boomerang and her ricochets, but the fact that she can spell shield your Q doesn't matter that much because an auto will do just fine to apply that stack and the rest of the team can pick it up. So this makes me think that Fox might be on the lookout for another game of Kai'Sa if Yasui can get away with it. Although every time he's played it, he goes against Corki. It's never been against the Azir. And I can see why. You don't really want to jump the Azir. He's going to just wall you and destroy you.
He's like, welcome to my home. Go deeper. Behind the turret. This is good. There's Rakan and one final ban. You can see Coach Kelsey Moser chatting with the team, saying, okay, the banned out stunt again. What do we want to take away from them? Panda's already got his jungler. Lost has that. Yusui could play that Silas. He could play that Kaisa, but like you said, mostly not against the Azir. So maybe that's Silas.
Ooh, no. Making sure that combo's not around. Against Sivir, it'd be
a really good point.
Real pain to deal with. These ADs that can't reposition quickly just get destroyed in the team fight when Windwall gets dropped. And instead, I think you take a blind pick here. Blind pick top laner. That's why the Gangplank is out. One of the strongest blind pick top laners we have right now. With the last pick potentially going over to Yusui. But no! Instead, Yusui opts to take the blind pick. Sorry, not blind. Counter, soft counter into the Azir. The old school Varus poke would be a solid pick against Azir.
We did just see Bang go off with that in the LCS.
And now they're giving away last pick to Lorlo. So against Renekton, you know, Akali has been something that people like to go against this matchup because you're not going to get tower dog.
Vayne.
No.
Quinn.
Yes.
Hell
right, you can E his E.
E the E.
Knock him back.
Easy E.
Something a little tankier.
Yeah. We'll see what they decide to put in there. Definitely not going to be Aatrox. Not GP either, as I almost said that. As we do have Tahm Kench towards the bot side. A bit of movement here for the team on the side of 100 Thieves where they can get around the map. It's not as big as getting those huge initiations. Yeah, they have the Glacial Prison from Sejuani, but it's not a cocoon to start it with follow-up. A little more conditional this time. Poppy locked in for Lorlo, one of his wheelhouse champions. And we see a little bit of a change to the groundwork of how you get stopped when you hit Steadfast Presence. You can't move for a little bit, and it's slowed. So we'll see how Lorlo can swing Poppy into the game. Good pick against Renekton.
It was only 2 weeks ago where Someday played Renekton into Poppy and first-blooded Poppy at level 1.
He did. We saw that play.
He has been phenomenal in this matchup, and if you haven't kept up with patch notes, first of all, don't blame you. Don't blame yourself. Pro players don't even read patch notes. If that didn't surprise you.
I had to do a PSA because of it.
We had to. We really did. I hope that they watched your speech and really understood that their livelihood does depend on
true sincerity in those
changes. And to update you on the change, it is now that Renekton's stun does break shield.
Ruthless Predator. Yeah,
it adds you a little bit of extra outplay potential when you're dealing with Poppy if she picks up her buckler. But the counterintuitive part about that is that when you're playing against Poppy, if you've played against enough Poppy, you're already used to just walking over on top of the buckler.
You just crush it.
Yeah.
You get in there and you harass her out of it anyways. So we will see what they have as we get into game number 3 here. Also taking the Tahm Kench on their side. Taking the Renekton with the Tahm Kench means they won't be playing against Lorlo on Renekton to slice through his health bar if he does try to go gray health. So they prevent a little trouble for themselves while getting a nice pick on the top side, and we'll see how they fare coming into game 3. Somebody's about to set us up at match point, and it's going to be 100 Thieves back on blue side, Echo Fox back on the red side of the rift to see who can lock that in.
Is that a mozzarella pizza? Oh, that's a margarita.
That's a margarita pizza.
Ooh,
yep, I like that. I like that you came up with that. Beautiful. It's a good one. I kind of like the cheese spread out a little bit more. I'm not a fan of super thick, just big splotches of mozz on my food, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you know, the smaller the cuts of food are, the more effort that's been put into it.
There's always been this point where, like, so you put the basil leaves in spaghetti sauce too, and sometimes it gets in serving a spaghetti. But when it's on like pizza and stuff, you're like, I am so sophisticated eating a basil leaf, but damn, does this texture suck. You're just like, whatever. But it tastes good. I mean, basil smells and tastes great, but you're just like, yeah, this is actually a leaf.
Or you bite it and then it just drags the whole leaf out with you. Like, I didn't want to eat a whole leaf right now. I really just wanted a small bite.
Got a real good stem on it. You're like, that's chewy, great, fantastic. Yeah, that's true. That does happen a lot. The whole leaf or nothing but the leaf.
Well, this is actually going to be, in my opinion, in the best of 5, game 3, or when both teams are 1-1, is the most important match. because you put yourself in match point. The other team has to win 2 in a row, which did not happen before, presumably, if you were to go 1-1. So it's a really, really important game for the confidence of these teams, for the mindset, because if you're down and have to win 0-2, it's a very different approach to playing the game than if you are ahead and just need to win 1.
There were people, back when I played soccer in school, they would be like, oh, no, we're good. It's 0-0. Just play like it's 0-0. And some people love that. They're like, oh, yeah, clean mentality. Others are like, no, play with heart. That's dumb. Don't play 0-0.
Why not both?
Everybody has a different idea of like what creates that intensity in the pivotal moment.
How to get into the flow state.
Figure it out, and then you would be the best. I was always big on envisioning. If I make this play, I'm gonna think that play over.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's kind of like dreams, right?
Yeah.
You see it, you visualize it, you are essentially pseudo-practice.
Exactly. And then there's the practice makes perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect.
Practice in your head, perfect head practice makes perfect video.
As we continue to blabber on, it was shortly after Champion Select, Pastry caught up with Mabry to chat about the series. Let's hear from him.
Thank you very much, Riv. I just had a quick chat with the FOXA Academy coach, Mabry, and asked him kind of what he told the team or what changes they made before Game 2 and moving into the rest of the series. He said generally that they needed to change a few things up because what they'd practiced in practice wasn't working out nearly as well. And in general, he said that even though they won the game, it was kind of a struggle. So his advice was think more, talk less, and kind of declutter those comms, and just make sure you play a little bit more cleanly through the mid-game. So we'll watch if FOX can clean things up because the series is certainly spicing up. Back to you.
Very spicy indeed, as that was Hot Tamale just landed by 100 Thieves there to take the blue away from Panda. Woo.
Think more, talk less.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It has a lot of not implications, but like ways it reads out, right? You know, if you're making the call, go on the call. Don't consider the call too much. Everybody gets muddled about. And now they are talking less on this one, and they're going to think about taking him down, but he gets the call to Meek. That's going to be a champion upgrade if you got the energy, or I'm sorry, the power, or empowered W. And Q coming out. There's an empowered W if he wants to use it, but just another call comes through. A 2v1 situation. But it doesn't look like many people that are dead will be talking on this one.
You thought you were ganking Someday. Someday was ganking you the whole time, and now the lane is completely over for the top side of the map. It's a Someday show with the Conqueror against Poppy, forced to buy a Doran shield now in the lane. So the Corrupting Potion not enough. He's going to need even more power to stay in this lane because after using that teleport, he does need a lot more. He's going to have to stay in this for at least a few more minutes, and he's going to have to suffer the wrath of the crocodile.
So considering pick, knowing that some days, so we'll watch this again and we'll talk about it. Knowing he's always going to bring something that can do this, that can fight to the lane, you want your jungler to come. But would you initially start putting Lorlo on something that can automatically fight back without the jungler?
So I think that Lorlo is perfectly fine on this pick. The issue is that you don't need to devote attention to this lane. You didn't pick Poppy to win the lane. If Poppy secures a kill against Renekton, it's not like she's going to have priority.
That's not like, okay, come now.
The lane is still favored to Renekton. So best case scenario, you kill Renekton, he comes back, still out-shoves you, still gets more played, still wins. So it's not a lane that has great returns for you. So it should not have been a gank in the first place unless Someday was incredibly overextended. So when they force it, then you pay and you suffer, and now a dive is potentially in the making. Someday is close to hitting level 6 too.
There's Steadfast Presence. Arctic Assault stops down Anda. Now he's going to be able to get a good lockdown of his own. This is going to be huge now. Lorlo almost comes up with a double. That's Predator on. This is going to give Panda a lot of movement speed to get over there, and this turns it around. The patience of waiting is what pays off here for Lorlo, and Baby hits the buckler to pick up kill number 2.
Nothing matters if it's actually going to be a fiesta game.
Erase everything we just said. Don't forget about it.
Scratch that record, forget about it. But I still think Someday's going to have priority in this lane, even though Poppy just picked up 2 unreasonably gifted kills. I mean, that's basically, you know, you walk past, go past Monopoly, go to Community Chance, takes you back to Monopoly. Sorry, back around, go. I haven't played that game in such a while. But the big thing here is that Someday was so close to hitting level 6. Had he been level 6, I think this would have been a very different dive, but with Anda committing his Arctic Assault right away, there's no way out except Flash.
Tries to get a bit of heal back there. Not empowered enough to help out too much. And what a turnaround already from that top laner of Lorlo. 2-0-0 after getting pushed back. And Crumbs, you mentioned coming into this game that we saw Someday play this matchup. We saw, even in the replays, him getting that kill in a solo lane. So Lorlo gets a big help out there. Down in CS, but he's able to start picking up some of those items to mitigate the pain.
You know, I wonder if this was one of the cases where if Panda had used Smite on a creep, Someday would have been able to hit level 6 and the gank could have been played a little bit better. But only a replay will be able to tell us, because we have seen top teams like Fnatic when they're over at Rift Rivals here in the NA. FOXA and their mid laner, for whose name is escaping me right now, were able to pull off Nemesis. We're able to do the same play, like, hey, kill a creep, let me hit 6, we win this fight. That could have happened in the top lane if the CS was a little bit different, but for now, Renekton still retains priority in the lane, even though Poppy is a lot stronger and has a bounty on her head. It's just the nature of the matchup.
It's actually one of my favorite things when we did the addition of circular levels to the left of the health bar, and we added your level.
Yeah.
Because you were able to like play the situation much more to, okay, 2 more creeps instead of looking down, looking up, looking down, looking up at your level increase. I loved it. Bring it back.
I'm a huge fan of visual cues and not so much just typing. Just, you know, let me look at a symbol and I know exactly what I need to do.
Some days safe and out, doesn't find out too much information as he tries to go searching just for a little bit. 8 minutes on that scoreboard, and we only have 3 kills. 2 of those over on the side of Lorlo for Fox, and your 1 kill to Someday. A lot more strength towards the top lane this game. Ooh, Steadfast Presence a little late for the slice. And Dice, he takes about half his HP. They love taking turret shots on these hits, though. They're going a little too far each time.
Someday's really happy with it, though. This is a champion that does have sustain, whereas Poppy does not. So anytime that he goes for these trades, he can afford to take poorer trades to get Poppy lower, because she only has that grasp. And speaking of very important things in the game, we also have the first Mountain Dragon going over to the 100 Thieves. We saw how valuable that was the last game, and with a team that has an Azir and a Sejuani, you have the option of 2-manning this one at minute 20. So this now gives the Thieves another thing in the playbook, and Fox Academy another thing to worry about.
I want to keep track of this as well. I don't know where Phil is on his Relic upgrade. Stun actually just hit his about a minute ago, which is pretty damn fast for Relic Ward. So, oh, he just hit it. I was going to say, I'll have to keep an eye on how much vision gets put down, but he hits it right now. So no big deal. Built up to be brought down. Infernal Drake is next, as we were saying here. 150 gold bounty onto Lorlo, playing it safe. He'll be able to get back with teleport here as he, I don't know, off times it, may miss a minion, but he should be able to get back. And it is just Someday saying, spear soon, man. Once I get it, I'm going to wreak havoc on this game.
Yeah, the Conqueror being so powerful against these tanks, really allowing these bruisers to have a really good time against these top laners, especially when they have built-in sustain that you can just do whatever you want and proc it, and suddenly you're healing off your spells. You needed that.
Empowered Call. A little bit more swing. A little bit more heal. Oh, no more swing. That just sounds wrong.
No, it sounds like a dance move. A little bit more swing.
That's what I was going for, but I don't want to actually like make people think it's something, because that just sounds wrong. Good damage onto Lorlo as, again, Someday backs off. So things are quieting down a bit. Panda hasn't been top again, but he also hasn't tried to find Soligo in mid. Hard to get Emperor's Divide around, or route around that, if you will.
Well, big one is that Yasui can always drop an ult onto Soligo, and he doesn't have cleanse, so the Varus ultimate is pretty deadly. You usually would see a cleanse against the champions of like a Lissandra that's a little bit more obvious, and obviously you don't even have to aim that point and click, but Yasui and Panda do have potential setup to one-shot Soligo here.
Priority between supports. Boots to full support item. A few other items across the board as well, just being purchased up. Spear of Soji finally finished here by Someday. We'll see how much he can now take it to Lorlo with that Dominus ultimate on. 2 plates dropped on the bot side with just a half of another one looking to be cleaned up here by Prismal. No dessert if you don't clean your plates. Holy Macaroni. They stayed right in the wave. Actually having to use summon or heal. Got to be cognizant of when the wave is coming back, and that Sivir is ready to ricochet.
That ignite really well timed. That stopped the heal out of Phil, and you have to wonder, does the boots purchase really affect this match? Because he's not using that for anything except getting back to a losing lane. Now that you have Tom Kent sustaining through, lost his poke.
You'd love to have that HP.
They've been shoving away at this lane all game long, and is actually the closest one to going down. It's even top.
No! Prismal could make the AD carry mistake of mistakes. No, he gets the Abyssal Voyage back. Now they can turn it around. Echo Fox may have gone a little too far. That's the lick. Will it stick? Shield goes out. Stand behind me comes in. Now they get panned down the Predator. They're not going to see it over their heads until he's just close enough. Who is the one going down? I believe Stunt still has gray health. Prismal drops that Winter's Bite, but he's going to get smited down as well. And now we have Soligo coming in. Hits back the Emperor's Divide, but this is going to give Yasui time to come in. No Devour going over to Panda. They do flash in for him. They're going hard for this, but they know they have to go for broke just to get a little bit back, as Fox is going to come out big here, and Soligo will fall to Phil. What a hell of a fight in the bot lane.
And Yasui found a sick roam to the bottom lane, but in the meantime, 100 Thieves, Someday and Anda do not drop the ball. They take the first turret, they get a Herald, and that Herald is still capable of taking down some plates. I'm looking at the mid lane, there's 5 plates, there's a lot of dinner ready to be served.
Oh, this is crazy. Everybody was kind of okay with the fight being over, and then flashing in at the last moment to get the 100 HP health bar.
The big one here is that Fox has multiple members roaming through the river, and there's only a control ward right at the very end. So they have no idea right up until the end. And so Thieves is thinking, do we commit for the kill? Do we not commit for the kill? Are these kills worth it? And Panda stopwatch does so much in buying time. You basically trade the 1 for 2. Really good timing by him. And now you've got a Yasui that is really fed.
That communication needed to be a little cleaner. Stun flashed for where a soldier was already for Soligo. That kill went to Soligo. A little crazy, but you can't not expect a fight like that to be hectic in comms.
Oh, you love when the fight. Actually, you might be able to find a fight like that that's completely silent, and then you wonder, how is that possible?
Look at that. Extra marinara on the pizza now.
Is there?
I did it. Right when he W's.
Oh.
Pretty sure you get extra marinara.
Ooh, yeah, no wonder. I'd throw that back, too. Get that extra sauce off my pizza.
What is this Sicilian crap? Oh. Prismal throws down on the Hun. You're going to body slam right for him so they can try to slap him back. Beautiful dodge with the Devour. It doesn't work in the 1-2 punch when the opposite team has you all figured out. 100 Thieves, however, can attack back. Nice job by the Hail of Arrows to keep him slowed down in the lane. And now it's Someday trying to come in, fight towards the mid lane. So Lorlo's going to go down as he tries to transfer in to the fight for the mid lane. And everybody's just getting dropped on both sides. Someday looking low. One last piercing arrow, a charge up from Yasui. He can't find it in the quiver, though. They're trying to get close enough. And Phil doesn't have enough in the tank to be a turret tank. So they're just going to go for a few bits of damage here on the turret. Plates have already fallen 50 seconds ago, but man, is this game on fire.
Yeah, I'm glad we cut to the mid lane, actually, because that fight was way more impactful than the bottom lane turret. Now that Azir was able to take down the turret, Yasui's roaming has been punished. Let's take a look at how this fight went down, because Panda really dropped the ball here. In fact, dropped the caskets, dropped both of them. That's a... You got to go on the Tom Kent, right? The Sivir is not the target. The Devour is always going to be available to take him out. So instead, gets outplayed, and Anda is just trying to buy enough time for the rest of the team, and another stopwatch for the ages.
Woo. Now see this fight here. So it looks like Laurel actually got caught, and this one dragged out for a little bit too. So he wanted the fight in the beginning, and then something went awry.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That 2.5 turret shots will do it. Not that the half counts, but you know.
Charging into the very powerful Azir, and with complete armor itemization. Sure, you tank those tower shots a little bit better, but the Azir's damage, which is greater, ends up doing it. We got an Infernal coming up now.
Just mounting in favor of 100 Thieves right now. Last member in Yasui, just on the outside. They did see him a little bit on the ward that channels there in between mid lane and the river.
They need him to poke first. If poke is in here, it's probably going to be a bit rough for him. Renekton is collapsing, and Panda is on the flank. Out of sight, too.
Top lane's being pushed in a little bit after this fight. It could be a way that 100 Thieves goes. Phil very low. Phil's gonna go down almost immediately in the beginning of the fight. Dragon still doing damage. Panda has to be careful. He does not get the smite, or he does, I apologize, get the smite out there. I thought Anda was able to come in and steal that one from him as he was just off on the edge. And Fox make it in, make it out. They do lose their support, but that's not the worst one to lose.
So Panda actually buys enough time for the rest of the team with that cask, even though it doesn't punt anybody in. It gets quite a bit of damage, gets them disjointed, and it makes things a little bit easier for Fox to try to burst down that objective. And I think that both these teams are really taking the same tactic to taking down this dragon, which is just sit in the brush and wait for them to come in, as opposed to looking for any potential flanks with either Someday's teleport or a Sejuani looking for something, or even using an Abyssal Voyage, right? You could use a Abyssal Voyage to teleport a Renekton right on top of Yasui, which is the nightmare of all poke champions.
That would be pretty gross.
Right?
Let's see, looks like they'll stay solo for now. Gold across the board. No huge discrepancies, except for the lane we expect to see it in with Someday 2100. Yeah,
It's outrageous.
just kind of spins over there. He's gaining a little bit more every so often, but everyone is 2100 gold with 1100 in his pocket right now to go back and spend. It's 2-1 and 0. That's almost the same between their score lines. So the map control, the turrets they've taken down, the plates that were able to be grabbed here, really adding up for him.
A lot of it really is the plates. Remember that when the Rift Herald was used in mid lane, Someday roamed as well, try to cash in all that money. And when he gets that far ahead, you just have endless pressure. And now that he's in the bottom lane, he can expect the Thieves to be able to secure another tower here, opening up the map even further.
See how long it takes Lorlo to clear these out. Gets the first two. Caster's only 2 shots, so he shouldn't have too much time to get hits on this turret, but he may stay a little too long.
Oh, chooses not to proc the demolish.
Yeah. Looks like he'll take that for the turret kill. Oh, that's why he says, Lorlo, I want you to stay for a little bit longer. I got friends coming. Nicely done there to kind of disorient Echo Fox. Now they're reacting to the play, but that's also an on the hunt that was just used by 100 Thieves to make sure that this works. Sligo's still in mid, getting the push on, has a teleport, and could have participated. But it seems like Echo Fox is a bit on the chase right now until they can put the game back in their pace.
Well, they have something to definitely put the game in their hands now with the second Infernal coming up. You've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds until that. And when you're running 2 poke champions, that is one of the strongest dragons you can have. So they will be fighting for that one. They had control of it last time around. And when you're running poke champions, there's always the debate of, are you stronger starting the objective, or are you stronger letting the opponent do the objective and then you poke them out? I typically side with, you usually want to be the one that collapses on the opponents doing the objective, because you don't want to be in a position where you get pincered or flanked around.
Oh, you can't use the great health if you're stunned, and that's going to mean that we also lose. And on the side, 100 Thieves, very fast-acting Echo Fox come up with 2 quick kills. That's not going to deter Someday, though. He wants to push. That'll call Lorlo back. So the positioning of 100 Thieves shows you that Echo Fox is still clawing the way back a little bit in terms of map pressure. But they're going to be getting it soon.
That was super well played by Fox.
Very well played.
Land the poke, and you got few members ready to collapse with the crowd control. Panda with a really nice ultimate. They even got Prismal's flash out of that, which is a huge, huge deal. So they played this out well, but they will need to find a reset now. You got a minute until this dragon, and you don't want to miss that time.
It just worked out perfectly for him, too. You stunned up the one guy that can help the other guy, and then when he's dead, he can't devour Sejuani. It works out, the 1-2.
It's nice that he actually punts him to the right and not forward, so that the wall stun is guaranteed.
Good stoppage there. Prismal not having as good as a game last time from the side of 100 Thieves. Had an Infinity Edge being built up already. Seal went in there after Essence Reavers. We see Baron being done right now, but he hasn't been able to go straight for that Infinity Edge this time. So that Sivir not going to be creating as well as she was in previous games. The bot lane took a bit of a hit from Lost and Phil, who have been playing quite well here since game 2.
I said at 20, this was a play in 100 Thieves playbook, and that Fox would have to be mindful about it. They dropped the ball, and 100 Thieves slam dunks behind their back.
See if they move these wards up 3 vision wards across kind of the shoulders and right there side of Echo Fox, just past mid. Their left, mid, and right are warded up. They're slowly moving those up, encroaching it into 100 Thieves jungle. That's what they need to make these fights count. Just on the right side, Panda and Lorlo waiting patiently. They're going to find the tankiest member, but how fast can they take down Anda? It might be long enough for 100 Thieves to answer back, but that true shot of barrage across the team makes 100 Thieves think twice. And Echo Fox will, Crumbs, be able to attempt that Infernal Drake for number 2.
They had the positioning first and were able to do so much damage and really zero out individual members. So Fox is playing so well this time around. It looks like they're improving game by game, and I think this is catching 100 Thieves significantly off guard because they haven't really been in this position for the last 10 games they've played. They usually get so far ahead on their own that they don't have to resort to how do we come back in these games, or how do we deal with a team that is a little bit more coordinated and isn't directly just having to deal with the wrath of a split pushing top laner. So Fox is really starting to catch on to 100 Thieves' tricks, even though they gave up that Baron to secure the Infernal, which is a huge power spike for them and their 2 poke champions.
And there were 3 asks from Fox, right, stepping up in that department. 2 of them come from themselves. Yasui wanting to play well again. Lost saying, you know, it's not negligible if we place the same, it's negative. So we have to place higher. And now they come out even stronger in this matchup because, not cause us, but we say that, you know, we're watching Yasui. He failed last year, and now he needs to do well. All those things are coming together, and Echo Fox is looking like that team that is going to push forward to playoffs if they keep it up.
Yeah, they did a good job in deterring Sumday's aggression in the top lane now. So the Poppy was able to really get to a tanky state and not lose lane. So everything continues to go well for them, but they're still dealing with a Baron push, so the 1-4 is very real.
It's hard to stop this correctly and not lose a member. Echo Fox is actually tempting even being outside their base right now with not too much vision, and maybe they may even go for the fight under the turret. I love this play right here, not waiting for the turret to go down, but as soon as it is 100 Thieves thinking they can step forward, they do lose Panda. They may be able to push back. Echo Fox has to work with that Sun Disc being in their face. 100 Thieves setting up base just outside their own side of the map with that.
They saw an opportunity and they took it, trying to get as much damage into the poke champions as possible, because remember what you highlighted in the last game, the Ricochet and the Azir soldiers do a lot of damage from a long range, and when you've got these carries that have to stand still, like the Vars, a few seconds of that is more than enough to just knock you out. As the game progresses, he's just going to be squishier and squishier. So now you got the Thieves tracking down 2 inner turrets. Wait to see what they do next in the top lane as Someday takes over that role and will likely just use the Baron recall to get back to safety.
4,000 gold lead, almost 4,500 here as it ticks up more for 100 Thieves continuously working across the map.
Look at Someday and Poppy.
4,000 gold lead. That's insane. Overnight, remember, it's 3,400 in the game before. Now even more so, a core item even in the hands of Someday, just on that discrepancy between him and his opponent. 150 bounty there, looking at 700 is trying to get off the board here, or 600 rather, that you can clean up for 100 Thieves.
It doesn't seem real how the rest of the team is always even, yet Someday consistently is multiple thousands ahead of his counterpart.
It's different too, because you look at the game and you see a bloody game from Echo Fox. They're taking 100 Thieves off the Rift, but you have to look at how 100 Thieves is playing around Echo Fox, because they are far ahead, have much more turrets down. It's been a different game when you look at the mini-map compared to the game on screen.
And even though they have those 2 Infernals, they can't afford to give up this next Mountain Drake. A second Mountain Dragon does give an opportunity for the Thieves to just win one fight and the game is over. With a Sivir and a Azir, the fights are almost insubstantial to the quickness at which they can take objectives and towers. So Fox needs to get in position like they did last time, land some poke, especially around these tight corridors, not specifically in the mid lane. In the jungle is a really nice position for them with the Poppy and the Gragas getting over walls and just jointing everyone.
I actually think one of the saving graces for Echo Fox right now is that it has been a hard game for Prismal. He doesn't have that Infinity Edge, only building up to the pickaxe now, but it's also going to still be hard because of this man here. Once in the top lane, and now in the bot lane, as Someday basically owns all, as he is in the lead right now for anywhere he goes, and he will put pressure in bot. Echo Fox will have to answer, and it's up to the rest of 100 Thieves to make that mix work around the map. Glacial Fissure goes down, Saligo's airborne, but you're fighting a Zero and a choke with a Sivir. This is insane. 100 Thieves are now going to back up as they know they have the advantage, but also losing a bit of health onto Prismal there makes it not as beautiful of a fight.
That is totally fine for the Thieves. They pushed up the lanes, bought enough time, and now they get to go for the dragon when it is up, but they instead will just base. They'll play it safe. They've got wards, so they can always retreat and take the objective again, but the idea was the exact same. And I think a big part of that engage from Fox that failed is that Panda had a very different idea for what 100 Thieves were trying to do. He was waiting on the left-hand side, hoping that they would siege mid instead of retreating into the blue side jungle. So had they gone for that, the Gragas play would have been a lot nicer. Instead, he finds himself lagging behind the rest of the squad and unable to make it. And Fox, unable to make it to the dragon, looking for a Baron of their own.
Yeah, that's a bust. A dice for 100 Thieves. First Infernal to what could be 3 for Echo Fox, so their fights would stink quite a bit. Piercing arrows and the likes, clearing out minions. Both teams have decent wave clear, Baron or not. Not the greatest on Echo Fox. Still takes a little bit more for them to clean it up, but they shouldn't have too much trouble getting to minions. Or cleaning them up, I should say. Mid laners having a great game on both sides. Saligo 4-1-0. Yosui 3-0-4. I think Saligo provides a little bit more power in a Baroned up fight though, Crump.
Not
this
checking.
could be a tough one. Down to 5,000 HP, and trying to get over the wall. Steadfast Presence used a little bit too early. Keeper's Verdict almost keeps them out of range. It's gonna be in there. Oh, the smite goes over to Lost, and that was just the auto attack to pick it up. Someday coming up big with 2 kills for himself as he swings, slices, dices, and cuts down Echo Fox. These are one of the fights you were talking about, Crumbs. 100 Thieves comes up big, and with the Sivir and the rest of the squad ready to take the base down, 100 Thieves are looking for a victory in game number 3.
And they will definitely get it. 2 Mountain Drakes, win 1 fight. It doesn't matter that you got the Baron, Fox Academy. You don't get your Nexus. It's up to Lorlo to defend this. No Keeper's Verdict, doing his best with the minion wave. But is it gonna be enough?
He says, walk this way. You want nothing to do with any of the things behind the curtain, like our Nexus turrets and Nexus. A quick go down here after he looks good in gold, and that stopwatch. Phil's here to fill that void, but it's only gonna be so long that he can do so. Here comes Panda with his Predator on, but it looks like 100 Thieves is only a few hits away from bringing us to match point for this playoff game versus Echo Fox.
Love the decisiveness out of them to go for that play, knowing that they could end it. And that was the power of the Mountain Dragons. That, listen, you got to take these dragons very seriously. The second you see them, you know what the plays that are available are. Fox did not respect that the Thieves could 2-man Baron with the Azir and Sejuani and 1 Mountain Drake. They lost that objective. It bought some time. And then they got the second one and ended the game off of 1 team fight. So they really need to prioritize those objectives more. And had they done that, I think they could have actually been in that position to win this game.
Absolutely. They showed strong this time. They didn't allow early game mishaps to let them go. We thought the top lane was over in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
But they were able to kind of route that and bring it back. And Lorlo's own kind of disoriented top lane gank that he played very well.
He got those, but he's still falling significantly far behind to Someday, which is something that you'd like to mitigate a little bit more, because that much of a gap in top laners makes it really difficult for the Poppy to stay and stand and deliver in the team fight when you've got a Renekton that is almost a full item ahead of you.
That's true. You want this Poppy to go in, and you're like, why aren't you going in?
Yeah, like, oh, there's a crocodile.
So we go back to the early portion of this game where, man, were we having fun in the bot lane. Shenanigans after shenanigans coming up from everything down here with multiple teleport plays to see.
Nice little jukes out of Prismal getting out of the Glacial Fissure, the True Shot Barrage, but then every single member is starting to get greedy, and the outplays from Fox and the stopwatches were very, very real. Panda with the Predator.
I like this cask in the beginning, like perfect timing. Boom!
Separates the Azir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good, but
Stun got too hungry here.
They didn't really have a, I mean, I think they could have just bailed out and left one, just like, all right, we'll take the take the L out of this one, but they were getting objectives in the top part anyways.
Very true. It's kind of like it breeds itself into more fighting when you're like, I'm not a part of that fight, and you get there and you're like, maybe I am a part of this fight. Let's keep
It's
going.
like a mosh pit.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You can see 100 Thieves on your screen, chatting with everybody on the squad, getting a little potassium for game number 4 as it comes up here, and they get their discussion in. Our next replay takes us to the Baron, where Fox were able to take that. But when you take the Baron, you want to take the base. But Thieves were able to do that part.
And this is the last fight of the game, and it's a little bit weird because Lorelo gets out, right? He's just not there anymore. He used his audacious charge, not using the blast gun to try to join with the team, but there was no point even joining them. They were all going to go down once they got collapsed on. I think that they needed to really identify what was going to happen when they collapsed and didn't really have a good idea of how much time they had because the Sivir ultimate came through and it speeds things up way too much. Usually in that position you think, we have maybe 7 seconds before they come in. Let's go. We can do Baron in 6. And then you realize, oh, they're here in 3 because they have Sivir. What do we do now? And that's when you have a split-second decision being made by 5 members. And unless all 5 are drilled and see the exact same play, you're going to have a misplay happen.
So things we're not seeing change. Sivir, Ezreal, a few of the bot laners are mixing it up. We're seeing a lot of Tom Kench, but the top side of the map is beginning to vary. No more Aatrox, no more Camille. What do you kind of expect to see from both teams, or what do you think would favor them in this position? Let's start with Echo Fox.
I think Echo Fox is fine with the Poppy so far. I think
Okay.
you just need to take something that is going to be impacting the game outside of lane. You cannot pick something to lane against something. It's just not going to happen.
Right, and if you
play to
do,
your
don't
strength.
go and try to gank it.
Yeah, well, and even if you do, the likelihood of it working is so low because he's going to run a Renekton. He's a very talented player.
He'll have something.
Sack the lane, pick something that scales, helps your team out, and then look to team fight. That's what's been going. That's what worked in game 2. That almost worked in game 3 with the double carries and the Poppy and then the Gragas and Braum. So I think that they've caught onto something. They just need to execute a little bit better.
Right on. Well, it looks like we're all ready to move on, and we're going to be moving to Game 4 when we come back. We'll see if Echo Fox can tie up this series versus 100 Thieves. Do not go anywhere. Their steadfast presence. Arctic Assault stops down Anda. Now he's going to be able to get a good lockdown of his own. This is going to be huge now. Prismal throws down on the Hun. You're going to body slam right for him so they can try to slap him back. Beautiful dodge with the Devour. It doesn't work in the 1-2 punch. Oh, you can't use the great health if you're stunned, and that's going to mean that we also lose and on the side of 100 Thieves. Keeper's Verdict almost keeps them out of range. It's going to be in there. Oh, the smite goes over to Lost, and that was just the auto attack to pick it up.